Hey folks, good morning. We are on another field trip today. We are headed to Husker Harvest Days, which is a big event here in Nebraska. They have it every year over near Grand Island, Nebraska. They have a big area where that's all they do. It's all set up for the big farm show. So we'll take you there. We'll try to show you some cool stuff. So come on along. We have arrived. Place is hopping. All right, we got our golf cart. Kelly's loading everything up. She's going to be our driver today. I love your patriotic outfit today, babe.
Thanks. For
it's awesome.
September 11th.
Nice.
911.
Never forget.
Never forget.
Now our first priority this year was get Kelly a bucket from Big Iron, because Big Iron gives out free buckets and they literally have already ran out. The show's only been open an hour and they're out of buckets already, so Kelly didn't get her bucket this year either. There's a big old case combine. John Deere doesn't show up to Husker Harvest Days. They don't think they need to, apparently.
I think they said they were supposed to be here this year.
There was always a good showing from Case, though. Big old quad track. There's a New Holland speed rower swather. Boy, look at the head on this thing. Got to go widescreen. Crazy. Cloth booth here. Giant combine. Four-wheel drive tractors. Another combine down here. Corn head on it. That's called a draper head, if you didn't know. That's for combining beans. And then this is a corn head here. Big old combine. Look how far out that spout goes out there. Out here where they're doing the combine demos, they've got all the different brands of combines out here running, actually in a cornfield. Farmers that are interested in them can actually get in them and demo them themselves with a representative from the company. Klaus combine here is getting ready to start in. There he goes, he's got his head rolling. As they cut the field, they move the rope where you can walk up and see the combines go by. There's more people here today than I've ever seen at Husker Days. Lots of them. It's hard to get the golf cart down the aisle because there's so many people. Look at this big fella here, big old Hereford bull. He's pretty. Got a huge head on him. Here's a younger guy here. I always liked Herefords. Now, if you don't know the difference, this is what Black Angus cows look like, or whatever they are. It's hard to tell when they're sitting down like this. I don't think they're steers, but they're pretty too. Now these cows here are Charolais, also very pretty cows. These are real good specimens here, nice and shiny. You can always tell when they're healthy. Their coats look really shiny. But pretty cows. So if you don't know what the different crops look like, we'll show you here. They've got a bunch of them planted down the row here. This is sorghum Sudan here, and then dwarf sorghum Sudan. Kind of looks like corn, and some people plant that inside their corn for extra yield. And this is some millet, pearl millet. This is some foxtail millet. Cowpeas. This is sun hemp. And these are radish. You can plant these for tillage. They help break the ground up, a good ground cover. And they break up hard soils. And this is cool season brassicas that they use for cover crop. Black oil sunflowers. You can actually use a combine to harvest these. Get the sunflower seeds once they're mature. This is what flax looks like. So if you use flaxseed oil or whatever, this is what flax looks like. This is buckwheat. Don't know what this is. It looks like corn, but may not be. It's probably some mixture of something. It says warm season mix, grazing mix. There's some sunflowers. It's all mixed in together.
Then we also have food plot or wildlife mixes. So there's a mix specifically designed to grow bigger deer. There's a game bird mix.
There's a pollinator mix.
You like to hunt quail, any of those game birds. Really good mix there that will provide
food plot.
seed and insect attraction.
You're planting a food plot.
For those birds as well.
Game bird mix. It's got all the different
flower mix.
bird seeds so the birds can have something to eat.
You just want something pretty out there
There's
to look
the
at.
flower mix here.
Some people have called that the happy wife mix because you can plant that in
Spring oats. Black oats. Lavina, which is a spring barley. This is a winter cool season grass. Cereal rye. Here's annual ryegrass. They call it annual because it doesn't reseed itself. These are turnips that they use for tillage, cover crops. Nitro radish. Collards that they plant for foraging. Forage peas. Look just like peas in the garden. It's called a hairy vetch. Fix nitrogen in the soil. Warm season soil builder mix. Don't know what's in there, but it says here on the sign it's got cabbage, rapeseed, mustard, sunflower, buckwheat, okra, and flax. These are all mixtures of stuff here. We're out here at the antique tractor display. We don't have time to take you through all these, but they've got lots of nice specimens out here that we've seen lately, that you've seen some of the other shows that we've gone to. But I always like looking at the old tractors. They got a pretty big corner here full of them. Well, look who showed up. Maybe John Deere is here. Years past they have not been. I don't know if this is a dealer or like an equipment seller, but there's enough combines. It's probably John Deere booth. Kawasaki's got an area where you can try out their side-by-sides out here. Little course. We're here at the Mighty Giant booth. These big tub grinders. They use to grind these to grind a lot of hay here in Nebraska. The big round bales. This one over here is set up for grinding bales at the semi-trailer. It's got the claw on here that they use to grab the bales with that throws them in the tub. We'll go look at the business end of this thing. Got a monster diesel power plant in here. And then here's the business end of the grinder. You can see it's got a bunch of rotating knives that rotate on the shaft, and when this thing spins, those knives come out. They just shred that hay. When the bucket lowers down, the knives come up through this hole here. And it's got the big conveyor that makes the pile of hay out back here. But pretty sweet machine. You see these all over Nebraska. Polaris also has an area you can drive their Rangers and stuff here. You've got a hill you can climb. Now this whole grounds is irrigated by actual pivots when there's no booths here in the off season. They've got these pivots that go around and around and water all the grass. There's the Unverfirst booth here. They make the Brent grain bins. Still not putting the discharge or the auger out on the right side. A little bit bigger than our little John Deere hay rake that we were using. Monster. Probably 60 feet wide. Now these aren't driven by any means. The ground makes these things go around, and then the teeth are bent opposite to where it rolls the hay over down into the middle of the row there. Makes a big giant windrow. Probably scoops up 4 rows at a time, it looks like. Boy, now that's a manure spreader. That thing is ginormous. Probably holds 15 yards of material. Let's look at the business end of this thing. This thing's literally 12 feet tall. Here's the teeth that bust everything up as it comes to the back. It's got a chain floor on it that brings everything to the rear, and then these things bust it all up and it falls in your field as you drive through the field. Quite a machine. You'd need quite a tractor. It's got the adjustable gate that slides up and down so you can adjust the amount of stuff coming out because it rolls underneath the gate. Here's a self-propelled baler. I've seen a lot of these around now. Instead of pulling them on behind a tractor like you do that one over there, it's got its own drive unit, cab, and everything. Another motor to maintain though. If you've never seen one of these balers work, all you have is the pickup rake down here in the bottom. Pushes the hay up in between this slot here. Then you got your roller and then your belts. It just shoves the hay up into this chamber and just rolls it around. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. These belts expand and makes a nice tight roll. And then once your roll's big enough, it wraps it in a synthetic material, and then you open the back gate and it spits it right out the back onto the ground. You got to make sure you're not on a hill where your bale rolls all the way down to the bottom. Here's a sample of the wrap right here that goes over the bales. It's just a plastic mesh is all it is, really strong, and it holds that bale together. And then before you feed it, you cut through it, take the wrap off, and then either run it through a big grinder like we showed you earlier, or a bale buster, which is what this item is over here. You throw a round bale in there, it breaks it up, throws it out on the ground so the cows can eat it. These forks right here flip down to the ground, go underneath a round bale, and then flips the bale up into the hopper. And then you got these knives down here that grind up the hay and leave it in a nice little row behind the tractor out in the field. And the cows just follow behind, start eating the hay. Kubota booth. We don't have any real big tractors out here. A lot of their smaller handling equipment, backhoes, lawnmowers too, skid steers. There's a 16-row combine from Case. That eats up a lot of corn real quick. Case literally has like 3 blocks here at the show. Better watch out, John Deere. They're coming to take over. Got the Apache sprayers. Those are getting real popular. Good road speed going down the road. Pretty nice units. Here's New Holland. They've only got a few items out here. They merged with Ford a while back. That's why you see the blue color. Look at the width on that spray boom, probably 120 feet. You got the rope making people here again this year. Kind of neat how they make these custom ropes. Bringing this one up here to make one. You can pick your own colors, custom colors, and they'll make you a rope. Just like this here, whether you need them for halters, leashes, or whatever. Got the Nebraska National Guard here with some of their equipment. Here at the welding booth, I always like to stop and look at stuff. Always wanted these one of these cool welding tables. They're super cool. They have these clamps that move around. You just pull them up out of the hole. You can move them anywhere on the table. And then you've got stops that you can set up to do different jig work and hold things square. It's really neat. Now, what I wouldn't have given to have one of these back in the day when we were doing truck bodies and drilling truck frames, a magnetic drill press. You can stick it sideways, upside down, whatever, and then instead of using all your muscle trying to get a drill bit through some heavy steel, you can just wheel it around like a regular drill press. Sweet. Remember that? We bought one of these last year. Very pleased with it, with the flexible hose. We use this a lot at home. This unit here is pretty cool. It's a ventilator to ventilate your welding gases. You hook a vacuum, whatever you got, to this, blowing outside, and then this thing articulates around. You can put it right next to where you're welding and sucks your welding gases up and gets them out of your shop. This apparatus here is always popular at the shows for cutting circles. It's adjustable. You just put a center punch mark in the metal and then put this in your center punch, and then that goes right around. Move your torch around, cuts perfect holes. Apparently Cactus Jack's is pretty popular. So this is something new I've never seen before here. It's an irrigating autonomous rover. It's got 3,000 feet of hose that it carries and unrolls automatically as you move through the field. So you got no more dry corners, anything like that. You can irrigate corn because this thing's nice and tall. Now, how they explain this to me is you have like a center road down through, splitting the center of your field. So this thing will drive down the center of the row, and then it turns down the row, irrigates all the way to the end, and then rewinds itself back, moves over, and then goes again until it irrigates your whole field. So you're not, you don't have to have a pivot anymore where you're going in a circle where you're missing the corners. This thing travels through your whole field and irrigates the whole field. It's on this tether. You see how it's irrigating the like grass crops, hay, stuff like that. And they have it set up for row crops on the other side. Let's go check that out. Here it is for row crops. Each nozzle or hose that comes down irrigates 2 rows of the crop. And it's got the hoses long enough it hangs down between the corn rows. Never runs out of water because it's tethered to a water source. If you're wondering how it waters the front, it's got a boom out front too. Pretty sweet. Got onboard cameras on the unit so you can see what's going on in your field. And then there's a program on your cell phone that maps the coverage and tells you how far it's been and how far it needs to go still. You can start and stop this thing from the comfort of your home. This building here, this big tent, is full of booths inside, so we're going to walk through the building. Boy, look at all these big, beautiful toolbox workbench combos. Way out of my league. You can get them whatever color tractor you want. Well, these are interesting. Maybe we can get a demo on that.
I'm the old Sheldon.
So we got Sheldon here from Rodman Tool. We've already got their drill bits. They're fantastic. We use them when we make knives, drilling the hard steel. He's got that blade I just showed you. He's going to show us how it works and what all it cuts.
So right through brick, rock, stone, steel.
The brake rotor, pretty hard stuff.
This is porcelain now.
Tile.
But it doesn't just cut. It's sharpen, scrape, beavers, grinds. But the best part of all, it doesn't come apart and blow up on you.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, those cutoff wheels can get dangerous. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I think you sold one.
You bet. Thank you so much.
These displays always want to make me go swimming on hot days, and it's getting warm. Hey, a sawmill. Let's check it out. Now this is cool. My dad used to own one of these out in California. He was partners with his cousin. We used to mill a lot of lumber up in the Sierra Nevada hills. It's called Two John's Custom Milling. And this is really cool. It's Wood Miser out of Oregon. It's got the log loader on it. You just roll the log up to that. It loads it up onto the deck. I remember running this thing. It was pretty cool. You can raise and lower either end of the log to get the right cut on it. We milled a lot of lumber on one of these. I don't think they're going to run it though, so we probably won't be able to show you it working. I wonder if they would mind if I took a little dip in that. Can we get one of those at home, babe?
No.
No? You're just no fun anymore. More cool toolboxes. Oh, look at that one. It's only $10,000. Here's a nice little pull behind finish mower. Got its own motor on it. You can pull it behind a four-wheeler. Pretty cool. Encore brand. Can't say that I've ever heard of Encore. I want a dump trailer, just not one that darn big. Pretty slick. Got fifth wheel and bumper pull. Well, that's a sexy looking Chevy there.
That one's better.
Kelly likes this one better.
Look at that big old girl.
That'd probably ride a little too rough for me. Big tillage equipment. Boy, you could drill a lot of grain with that thing. Look at the width of that thing, it's crazy. Now these guys got it figured out. The auger goes out the right hand side and it even angles forward. So you're looking at it right outside the tractor cab instead of having to crane yourself clear around to see what you're doing. Genius! So this company here, Hydrobed out of Kansas, they've got a new spin on the bale beds here. Not only can you lift hay bales onto your bed, they have interchangeable attachments that go out on the end. You can drill post holes. You can spool your wire, hydraulically driven. They've got a hydraulically driven cake hopper up here that's a lot higher capacity, because normally you don't have the hydraulic drive with the auger in the bottom. It's normally a gravity feed, so only half of this would be full of cake. With this operation, you can have this whole thing full of cake. And then you've also got these hooks here on the side that your bale loader comes forward, and you can grab this and set this off of your truck. You don't need a forklift or anything like that. That's a super cool design right there. So those of you who wonder how they move the round bales around, this is how they do it. You've got this big long trailer with the roller chain on here. It's even at an angle that fits the roundness of the bales. Fits 2 rows on it. And the unique thing about this trailer is you hook it behind your tractor, hydraulically driven with the Power Beyond. So this thing here will come down. You drive up underneath the bale with those forks, and then it rolls the bale up on top of here. And then when you get a bale there, you roll it back 1 length. You lower another bale, roll it back 1 length till you load the whole trailer. It's got a loader also on the left side, so you don't have to deadhead down the field if you're on the wrong side. And then once you get your trailer completely unloaded, you can unload the bales off the back. This trailer tilts up to where that's almost on the ground, and all your bales are in line here. You put that down and you drive forward, and it just pushes those bales right off the trailer in a beautiful little double line of bales on the edge of the field or wherever you're stacking them. But move a lot of hay with one of these things. Got some flywheels running. Where John Deere brought down a whole row of 8R tractors. Most of them were identical. This one got the big fat tires on it. Eliminates the dual tires. And then the single track and the quad tracks. I'm glad they're back. I like John Deere just like any other red-blooded American, but I'm just not happy with what they're doing now, laying everybody off and moving all of their manufacturing offshore. It's not good for the country. Here's a cool little fencing unit here. Stores all your posts over here, and then it even drives your posts for you, and it even drills your post holes if you need to drill something. Pretty slick unit. Now look at that, they got a big vacuum that goes on the front of a skid steer, runs something with the hydraulics, and then you can have that hose go vacuum things out when you're cleaning things up. And then it's got the hopper right there that puts everything to, so when you're full you just pick up the skid steer and dump the hopper out. Pretty slick. The crowds are clearing out a bit. It's about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. It's getting warm too, so people that have been walking around since 9 o'clock this morning are probably getting pretty tired. And we're just about done also. We've been through the whole place. I think we're going to head to the shed. Alright, we made it back to the Markelly Farm wagon here. Going to unload everything, and then I'm going to drive the golf cart back, or Kelly will, and I'll pick her up over at the golf cart place. Well folks, we got done at Husker Harvest Days. Been quite a long day. It was starting to get warm, so it was a good time to leave. We made it through the whole place. I think we almost ran over about 100 teenagers today, because it was, I think it was FFA Day, where all the different FFA groups came to Husker Harvest Days from literally every high school in Nebraska. And they all walk around with their nose in their cell phone and don't watch where they're walking. So it was slow going at times to keep from running over people. And I'm reminded why I don't like big crowds. But that's all right. We'll do it every now and then. So we're going to go home and relax a little bit and make supper. Hope you guys enjoyed Husker Harvest Day. We saw some neat stuff. We brought you the highlights. I didn't want to show you the same old stuff. So anything that looked new, we made sure we looked at. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you guys. Come back and see us at the farm.